Welcome friends. Let us continue to study steam generation on my YouTube channel. Kindly like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. The topic included in today's lecture is construction and working of barrel or bucket calorimeter. Barrel or bucket calorimeter. It works on the fundamental of transfer of heat from wet steam to water. Here, wet steam is mixed with the water. Wet steam is converted into water, that is due to condensation, and heat of wet steam reduces and heat, that is enthalpy of water, increases. So it works on the fundamental of enthalpy or heat balance, because whatever the heat is removed from the wet steam, the same heat is gained by the water. So when transfer of heat ends at equilibrium condition, mixture of steam and water attains the same temperature. And therefore, heat lost by steam is equals to heat gained by the water. So this is the fundamental on which the barrel or bucket calorimeter works. Now let us see the construction. So it has a vessel made up of copper, and it is known as the copper calorimeter. Mass of that calorimeter or copper calorimeter is M calorimeter, and Cp, that is specific heat of the calorimeter, is Cp of calorimeter. On the top, calorimeter cover is fixed. It is filled up with the water. So let us see, it is filled up with the mW mass of water. So mass of water is known to us, and the specific heat of water, that is Cp of water, again it is known to us. Thermometer is placed inside the water in a calorimeter to measure the temperature of water. Let us say that before starting of the practical, the temperature of water and calorimeter is T1. So T1 is the initial temperature before starting of the practical. Here the wet steam is supplied to the water. Wet steam or the known quantity of wet steam having the mass of steam Ms is supplied through this pipe to the water. The pipe is perforated so that steam can mix up with the water. The pressure gauge on this pipe is installed so that the pressure of the steam entering into the calorimeter can be measured, and valve is provided so that we can start and stop the experiment by opening and closing this valve. Let us study the working. So initially valve is closed. Initially the temperature of water and calorimeter is measured, and that is T1. Now we open the valve, and as then we open the valve, wet steam of known quantity, that is Ms kilogram, enters the calorimeter. When we measure the pressure of steam, it gives us the value pressure of steam. That water from that perforated pipe mixes with the water, and due to that the steam is mixed with the water and converted into water. Due to that the temperature of mixture of water and steam increases, and that increase in temperature can be recorded with the help of the thermometer. So let us say T2 is the final temperature of water and calorimeter. Water means mixture of water and steam after the steam is mixed with the water, and after particular time the valve is closed. Now let us go for the, you can say, derivation of equation for the bucket calorimeter using the heat balance. Heat lost by the steam is equals to heat gained by the calorimeter, that is the vessel copper calorimeter, plus heat gained by the water. Now Ms is the mass of steam multiplied by enthalpy of steam initial minus enthalpy of steam final, because the enthalpy of steam reduces. So enthalpy of steam initial minus enthalpy of steam final and multiply by mass of steam, it gives us the heat lost by the steam. Heat gained by the calorimeter, equation is easy, mCp delta T. So mass of calorimeter multiply by Cp of calorimeter multiply by T2 minus T1 plus heat gained by the water. Again equation is easy. mCp delta T, mass of water multiply by Cp of water multiply by T2 minus T1. Now let us go for that. What is the condition of steam at initial? Yes, it is a wet steam because we know that we want to measure the dryness fraction of that steam. And so we have entered into the calorimeter. So initial steam is wet steam. So it is at steam wet initially minus at steam. Okay, what happens to the wet steam? When it mixes with the water, it becomes liquid. So enthalpy of steam, liquid, that is final, equals to the mCp delta T for calorimeter plus mCp delta T for the water. Now, what is the equation to calculate the mass of steam wet? Just now we have studied it is HF1 plus X into HFG1, where HF and HFG can be calculated using the steam table at the pressure that we have measured using the pressure gauge. X that we want to calculate, and HFG is the enthalpy of liquid after it mixes with the water and converted into water. And the right hand side, mCp delta T for the calorimeter plus mCp delta T for the water. Now, which is common on the right hand side? T2 minus T1 is the common. So let us take it common. So T2 minus T1 is common. So what is inside the bracket? Mass of calorimeter into Cp of calorimeter plus mass of water into Cp of water. Left hand side as it is. Now, let us take Cp of water common from this bracket. So what will be the left hand side as it is? Cp of water we have taken out. So what will be inside the bracket? Mass of calorimeter multiplied by Cp of calorimeter divided by Cp of water plus mass of water bracket over multiply by Cp of water multiply by T2 minus T1. Left hand side as it is. This term is known as the ME. ME. And that ME is what? ME is water equivalent of calorimeter. So sometime in numerical, they don't give us the mass of calorimeter and Cp of calorimeter. Directly they give us the water equivalent of calorimeter. That is ME directly is given in the numerical. So that is the equation, and ME is the water equivalent of the calorimeter. Now let us see mass of steam given in the numerical. HF1, HFG1 that we can calculate using the steam table. X we want to calculate. ME given in the numerical, mass of water, Cp of water, T2 minus T1 given in the numerical. So if you want to know, calculate the AX, we must have the HFG2. But we don't have the pressure after mixing of the steam with the water. So how to calculate the HFG2? Yes. Right? Where ME is the water equivalent of calorimeter, mass of water, Cp of water, T1 initial temperature, T2 final temperature, Ms mass of wet steam. Yes, HF1 and HFG1 can be read from the steam table at pressure of steam given in the numerical, and also we know that we measure while we enter the steam into the calorimeter using the, you can say, pressure gauge. But HF2 is that we have to take from the temperature based steam table at T2. Now please understand, temperature based steam table. So this is the only application in our syllabus where we have to take the data from temperature based steam table at T2. Now what is T2? Final temperature of mixture. So whenever the steam mixes with the water and it attains the final temperature T2, at that T2, using the temperature based steam table, we have to calculate the value of HF2, and then we can calculate the value of X, that is a dryness fraction, using bucket calorimeter. HF1 and HFG1 read from the steam table at pressure of steam. So that is a pressure based steam table. First column is pressure, and at using that table we can find out the HF and HFG, that is our HF1 and HFG1. HF2 from temperature based steam table at T2. So whatever the T2 is given in the numerical, So we have to go for the temperature based steam table, in which first column is temperature, that is saturation temperature, and at that particular given temperature we have to find out HF, and that HF becomes our HF2. That is for the numerical solution. Advantage: this method can be used to measure any value of dryness fraction. Limitation: there is always heat loss from the calorimeter, so it gives only approximate value. Thank you.